saying? Sidewinder TV, here with Whitey fucking Morgan.
Yeah.
Bum-ass guitar player from Michigan, right?
I don't know about the guitar player, but I do what I can.
We just played here at the State Roomm, and Whitey Morgan killed it. Killed it.
It's good tonight. Your crowd was good, man. They loved you too, man.
They loved both of us.
They loved you, man.
Must be the hat.
It's great. The hat's good, man. I love the hat.
But we're here with Whitey Morgan, true inspiration of mine. Let me play here with him. But Whitey Morgan is on tour again, and his album just dropped, Sonic Ranch.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Sonic Ranch, man? Like how it started, like how long you've been dreaming about making this album?
Well, I've been, people have been wondering when the next album's going to come out, and it's because, you know, I had a little problem with my old record label.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of years I had to kind of, some lawyer fees and shit to get out of that. And so this album, it's been a lot of years in the works, and people have been waiting for it. And I heard about this studio down in El Paso, kind of in the middle of nowhere, just southeast of town, right on the border. And we went down there and recorded for a couple of days to see if we liked it or not. And man, it was everything I needed. You know, it's like I said, middle of nowhere. It doesn't feel like a studio. It feels like kind of like the whole vibe down there is like a big family. All the staff there, they've been working there forever. You know, you got these old Mexican ladies that make your meals and shit. No, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's like, oh, you're gonna come down here and everybody's gonna do everything you want to do. It's not like that. It's like you come down there and they don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah.
They just know. These ladies just know. I have to do his laundry and I have to make his breakfast for him, and you know, and they're awesome. And it's just like I said, within a week, you know, they were calling me Wedo, and you know, fucking with me, you know, and my steel player, they called him Big Cowboy. Hey, Cowboy, come and reach this for me, you know, like that, you know, just messing with him. And but it's just great people down there, and that's everything I wanted. You know, a studio should feel like home, not like a damn doctor's office, basically. You know?
Exactly, man.
That's the problem I've had for years with the studios. Just they feel so sterile and just. And there's just no creativity in there. You know, you can't go and have someone say, "Okay, sit down and create something." You need that environment that kind of that helps you with that creativity.
Yeah, when I recorded my EP, I went to my buddy's home studio. I could have went to like a professional studio, but when I went there, it's like just something that doesn't feel right about being in a.
Yeah.
You know, there's no soul in it. There's no.
You're right. It's like being in a damn doctor's office.
Yeah.
Next, come in, do your thing, pay your money, and get the fuck out. That's no way to create anything.
So I seen that your Sonic Ranch album, you did it like a Kickstarter for?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what made you go that route?
I didn't want to. My manager said, if we're gonna do this without a label, we need funds. You know, we need some capital. So it's like, okay, but the only way I'm going to do it is if we give them a better deal if they, you know, buy it through Kickstarter rather than if they buy it after the album comes out.
Yeah.
So we did package deals and all this stuff, and basically all it really was pre-order.
Yeah.
And the problem is a lot of people, they do the Kickstarter, and it's basically you're donating to them.
Yeah.
It's like, here, give me some free money so I can do my thing. So to me, I'm like, that's not my style. I'm not gonna. Why would I? I don't want them to give me anything. So basically, it was just pre-orders, you know.
Yeah.
So it made sense once he beat it into my head that it was pre-orders, and they're just basically giving you money up front so that you can record your album, and then you're going to give them their product when it's done. And it made more sense to me because, you know, the Kickstarter thing to me, I've heard. You know, I've been hearing about that for years, and they're like, someone says, "Oh, we need a trailer for a tour. Give us some money." Basically, it's like begging shit. And that's just not my style. Like, but when he said, "Okay, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to give them a better deal, and if they order it, they'll get everything before the general public can get it." I was like, "Okay, that's cool," because then they're part of the family. They're giving, you know, and they're helping us out, getting it out there because, you know, without a label and the money, you know, you're not going to get it done as fast as, you know, we would have liked to got it done.
So what would you say is your biggest advice to artists who are trying to get into the music scene? Do you said you had problems with the record company?
Yeah.
Like when you were signing a contract, what would you recommend?
Well, the biggest thing is have a lawyer read it. But don't just have a lawyer read it. Have a lawyer that knows something about the entertainment industry read it, because you know, the one I signed, I had some lawyer read that obviously didn't know what the fuck he was looking at, and I got, you know, it kind of fucked me over for a few years. You know, a few years in the life of a musician is
A long time.
It's like a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people. It's been 5 years since I released a record, and I've been ready to release one for 3 years, but I couldn't because of the, you know, the shit I was going through. Basically, read your contracts, and if you really want to do this, you need to go out. You need to at least. You don't need to tour the country, but tour your region. You know, like me from in the Midwest. You know, you got to go do Chicago. You got to do Columbus. You got to do Cleveland. You know, Toledo, Indianapolis. You know, you have to go do those towns, build up that area first, and then go out and, you know, spread it out a little bit. And if it's receptive, if people are receptive to it, then you know you're onto something. That's what I did in the old days. We would do weekends. We'd go down to Cleveland or, you know, Pittsburgh, all that, and just see it. If people were digging it, then you know you're onto something. But if not, you know, it's hard to, you know, if you believe in it, you're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
But when people are behind you, when you can see the fans out there and they're loving it, then it makes it that much easier, you know.
Yeah. Contracts, but what would you say is, why would you say you keep, what makes you keep going?
Stubbornness, I think,
Yeah.
mostly, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I refuse to give up. I'm being from Michigan, you know, that's the kind of way we are around there, you know. People say that Flint and Detroit and whatever is kind of losing its way and the auto industry is moving out, but we don't give a fuck. We built, you know, I always say Michigan built this, whatever this thing is we all know, you know, the auto industry. I mean, you know, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, you know. But there's just something about the way we do things there. We just never give up, you know. And that's kind of the way I've been with the music, is just do it until you're dead broke and you can't do it anymore, you know.
Exactly.
You know, that's the way I feel about it. And if your heart's in it, and even if you're not making money, as long as it's filling up your heart and you and your boys are having fun and you're traveling, you're seeing the country. That's the biggest thing for me, is I get to see shit not a lot of people are ever going to see the things I've seen, and I'm only 38 years old.
Yeah.
I've seen. My goal is to see every national park, to go, you know, I've been to Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon, and Rocky Mountain National Park, and Smoky Mountain, you know, all that shit. And to me, that's just going and this land we live in is amazing. Go out there and, if anything, even if you don't make money, if you can see that and not go broke doing it, then you're doing all right, you know?
Yeah, I mean, exactly the way I feel about, you know, country music nowadays. I don't know. You know, I think we're kind of the same area with the type of country we play.
Yeah.
Because we both play like an anti-Nashville kind of sound.
Yeah.
Which,
well, it's anti-Nashville these days. It used to be.
Used to be Nashville.
Yeah. And they didn't want it then, though, but they, you know, Waylon and Willie and Johnny Cash and Paycheck and Merle Haggard, they shoved it down their throats, and they had to play it. You know, I think that's what that's getting ready about to happen. People are getting sick of this bubblegum shit that's on the radio, and they want the real stuff from people that live it and tour. And, you know, that's the thing about Waylon and those guys back in the day. People don't realize is they were doing it for a decade before they ever got a song on the radio. You know, it's not like today where some dude gets discovered in a karaoke bar and he's good looking enough to get a record contract. In the old days, you had to tour. You had to prove yourself before Nashville would even look at you twice. And I feel like maybe that's what's happening now. There's a lot of guys out there, you know, that are touring and working hard, and I'm hoping that maybe we'll see a change here on the radio. I don't really give a shit if there is a change on the radio. No, let me backpedal a little bit on that. But the radio doesn't matter anymore because there's Sirius Outlaw, there's Sirius Willie's Roadhouse, there's Pandora and Spotify and all these other places where you can go get the music that you want. You don't have to rely on the mainstream to give it to you anymore. You don't, and that's great. That's something that we have on the past generations that they didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one place to hear country music, and that was on that one country station in that county that you lived in, and that was it. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't on that, you're never going to hear it. We got it easier, I think, than they had it back then. We got a lot of outlets for what we do now, and there wasn't a whole lot of places to hear anything but what Nashville was putting out back then.
I think the problem with what we have nowadays is there's too much. There's too many outlets. Like there's too many. Like I read this article written by, I can't remember. He says there's too many genres.
Well, that's the thing, is everybody's got a label they want to put on everything.
Yeah.
They want to call me outlaw, country, all this shit. It's like, well, first of all, there's no outlaws anymore. Waylon and Willie. It's not the 1970s anymore. People's definition of outlaw is very skewed from what it's supposed to be. In the old days, outlaw country meant you had a record deal with Capitol or Atlantic, and you refused to do what they wanted. That's what Willie and Waylon jokingly called themselves outlaws, because they basically said, fuck you, I'm not going to do it the way you want me to do it. Even though I have $1 million record contract, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it my way, or we're not going to do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So these days, I don't understand how someone can call themselves an outlaw if they don't have a record deal that they've basically turned down and told them to fuck off. It's like, how can you be an outlaw if the record industry doesn't even know you exist?
Exactly, man.
But people think an outlaw means a loudmouth drunk from the stage that whatever, and is
I think
cursing at his audience and being an asshole. It's like that. You're just an asshole. You're not an outlaw. You're an asshole. There's just to me, people want to label me that, and I just don't really believe it, and I don't like it. We're a honky tonk band. That's what I say.
Yeah.
We're a honky tonk band. We play songs about drinking and having a good time, and that's what a honky tonk band does. I'm not a straight country band. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I'll never be a country band. I'm not from Tennessee. I'm not from,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a honky tonk. We're a honky tonk band. Leonard Skinner was a honky tonk band. The Rolling Stones, they said in many interviews, all we really want to be is a good American honky tonk band. And they had all those bluesy, groovy tunes, man. And that's what a honky tonk band was to me, and that's kind of what we do. I can't ever say we're a country band, because we're not. I don't get up there with an acoustic guitar and play mellow country tunes. We rock. I strum the hell out of the telly, and we're loud.
Yeah.
That's not traditional country music. We can play it if you want us to, because my band is good, but we're not a traditional country band, and I don't want to be a traditional country band, because it's already been done. I just want to have fun and play honky tonk music, man. That's what we do. I love it.
It's really interesting because there's new wave that they call new wave country, and the outlaw movement again, like with you, with Shooter, Hank 3, Cody Canada, Jake Orvis.
Yeah, Jake's
which is
good, dude.
Like these guys that, like you and all these guys I'm naming, we listen to.
Yeah.
And when I was like fucking in high school, I was listening to Ash Jack, like the old school Hank 3 stuff, the bootlegs.
Oh yeah.
And I think people are tired of the pop country shit, and that's why
they gotta be.
They gotta be, man. Because I was like, Hank 3 comes to town, he sells out. You come to town, you sell out your show. Same with Shooter. I mean, people are dying for something real.
Yeah, it's changing too. Like I said, every week, every month that goes by. I mean, I'm seeing it online. I'm seeing it at the shows. People that come to our shows look like they might have been at a Kenny Chesney show last week, and they finally decide, you know what, this is terrible. I need to find something else. I mean, that's the great thing about my audience is I see kids out there wearing their Hank 3 shirts, and I fucking love it. But then I see girls out there that look like they might be on the fence. They're not quite sure.
Yeah.
Is this where, you know? But then by the end of the show, they're up front drinking and having a good time. And, you know, we got another one. We pulled another one over to our side of the fence, you know?
That's one thing that I think I really try to encompass, because I'm not a country singer either. Because I don't know, when people ask me, what kind of music do you play? I'm just like, Western?
Yeah,
Western
real music. That's what I tell them.
And then I was like, they're like, we don't know what to expect from you when I get on stage, and then I do what I do, and they're like, wow, there's a lot of soul in what you do. I was like, you know, because everything I wrote is everything I've been through, you know. And
but then again, that's country music too.
Yeah,
you know? It really is.
So you know, I'm really glad I get to meet people like you that inspired me when I was younger, because I didn't want to be like a pop country singer. I didn't like the sound. I still don't like the sound.
No, me neither.
But
it's awful.
When I first started playing music, I was in a metal band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I went to Blackkiss, dark country, whatever they want to call it. But well, thank you for doing this interview, man. We got to see it coming. Thanks. This is Whitey Morgan.